and welcome to GK Trick India. Today we're going to deal with modern history. In modern history for UPSC, we have to look through the British conquest of India and then the Indian national movement. From British conquest of India to Indian national movement, we're going to deal with several things like how the Europeans came to India, how they established their power, and how they conquered over the other European powers and the Indian princely states, and how they established the English East India Company finally. So first, let's deal with the British conquest. Their two targets were the European powers and the Indian princely states. What is the strategy first? The strategy is that first, to overthrow the European powers. What are the methods they took to overthrow the European powers? What do you think they are? They are wars and treaties. So they always had this method of dealing with the enemies, is that war, treaty and war. This treaty they take, it's a break to weaken the enemy's army and to reinforce their own army, and then go with the war again. So now let's talk about the other European powers that existed during the time of British in India. So there were Portuguese, there were British, Dutch and French. So now first we're going to deal with the Portuguese. So in 1498, Vasco da Gama is a Portuguese person. He came to India, that is at Calicut, and he was received by Zamorin, our Indian king. He was welcomed and he was permitted to trade in spices. Okay, and then in 1510 he established the Goa base, defeating the Sultan of Bijapur. And then the use of the featories and the cartages, all these were brought to India by him. And then let's talk about how their power ended in India. There was this battle in 1612, that is Battle of Swally, in which the Europeans, the Britishers basically, they defeated the Portuguese, and so the Portuguese power declined and they confined to just a small part of India, that is Diu, Daman and Goa. But they made some basic contributions to India, that is they brought to India the tomatoes, tobacco, potatoes, pineapple, etc. That is Portuguese. And then Dutch. The Dutch East India Company, it was established in 1602, and the establishment of the factories were done by Dutch in Machilipatnam, that is in 1605, in Surat in 1616, and the others and so on. And now these Dutch people replaced this Portuguese and they became the dominant power in India, and they were defeated by English in the Battle of Badera that happened in 1759. So the Dutch power ended, the Portuguese power ended, and now let's talk about the French. The French came to India in 1664. They were the last to come to India, and the French, they formed the French East India Company. It was formed under the Louis XIV, that is the finance minister of French during that time, Colbert. And then in 1668 they set up the first factory in Surat. Next, the second factory was established in 1669 in Machilipatnam near Hubli. And then in 1674 what happened is the Portuguese and the Chandranagar ports were established by the French. There is this governor of French, that is Lord Dupleix, that is at the rate of Pondicherry in 1742. His mindset was different from the others. The others were only confined to doing the business, only related to the trade and all. But Dupleix, he had this objective, that is change in the mindset, that he wanted to convert it from the commercial motive to the imperial expansion. So what happened is the Anglo-French rivalry wars. These are also called as Carnatic Wars. So the Carnatic Wars, if we're going to talk about it, it was during the same time the War of Austrian Succession was taking place. These were called as the Wars of Supremacy, basically in history point of view. This war of Austrian Succession, this is a fight between the English and the French, which was happening on the Indian soil for supremacy. There are three Carnatic Wars. First Carnatic War was in 1746 to 48, second from 1749 to 54, third 1758 to 1763. We're gonna talk everything, all the three wars in detail. But before, we're gonna talk about the English East India Company. So the English East India Company, how it actually came to India, how it all started. In 1599, John Milden Hall came to India, that is by land route. And in 1600, Queen Elizabeth, she gave this charter to the East India Company to carry on trade with India. That is the rights. Basically, this charter is the rights to trade with India. So, in 1608, Captain William Hawkins, he visited to the Mughal Emperor, that is Jahangir, during that time. And in 1609, Jahangir, he issued a firman to build a factory in Surat. So in 1613, the first factory was set up in Surat. In 1615, Sir John Thomas Roy, he visited to the Mughal Emperor's court. A firman, that is a free trade and exemption from the inland toll, it was acquired by him. And in 1616, another factory was established in Masulipattnam. In 1632, the right to trade in Golconda was taken over by the Britishers. And in 1651, Nawab of Bengal, Sujauddin, grants the permission, actually the rights to trade after paying the duty to this British East India Company. And in 1662, Bombay received dowry gift from the Portuguese. The Bombay was received as dowry gift from the Portuguese also. So they had this very supreme power or factory, we can call Bombay, with them. And in 1651, Nawab of Bengal, Sujauddin, grants the permission, actually the rights to trade after paying the duty to this British East India Company. And in 1662, Bombay received dowry gift from the Portuguese. The Bombay was received as dowry gift from the Portuguese also. So they had this very supreme power or factory, we can call Bombay, with them. And in 1691, Royal Firman was issued by Aurangzeb to East India Company, and they were exempted to pay the customs duty in Bengal. And in 1717, Royal Firman was issued by Farrukh Sire to East India Company, by which they can have the trade concessions, they can mint their own coins, and thereby they transform themselves just from trade to having powers, political powers basically, in India. So basically, when you get a question that when was English East India Company established their first factory in India, we can say it was during the time of the Jahangir. Now let's get back to French, how they overthrew French. I told you there were three Carnatic Wars that happened during the time of War of Austrian Succession. These three Carnatic Wars are the main base through which they overthrew French from India. So first, the first Carnatic War. It happened between 1744 to 1748. Now, Lord Dupleix, his ambition in 1746, he actually came, and his ambition was capturing of Madras by the French, which was English East India Company's territory. So it is a very important trade center to English. So they were really against it, And so the British response, how do you think is the British response? It came by a war. That is, in 1748 they took over Pondicherry of French territory. But there was a strong defense from French, so there was a retreat by British. They couldn't take over the French in the First Carnatic War, and there they signed this treaty called Aix-la-Chapelle, and Madras given back to Britishers and Canada to French. Now, the Second Carnatic War, 1749 to 1754. I told you, their main method was war, treaty, war. This is what happened in case of the Carnatic Wars. First, they led a war. They tried to take over the Pondicherry of French. It didn't happen. They lost, and so they signed a treaty called Aix-la-Chapelle, and then they came back with the Second Carnatic War, that is in 1749 to 1754. In this second war, that is in 1749, French attacked on Arcot, that is the capital of Carnatic during that time, and the British counterattacked. It was led by Robert Clive. What happened is the French started interfering in the wars of succession. Instead of just taking over the trade, they were coming in between the political powers and the interference in the succession. After the death of the Asaf Jah in 1748, French interference took place. Asaf Jah was the Nizam of Hyderabad by French officer Bussy under Dupleix supervision. So in 1754, Dupleix was recalled and he was replaced by Godehou. There they signed a treaty with the English again. No one won. It was a draw, and it was signed a treaty called Treaty of Pondicherry in 1755 with English. Again, Third Carnatic War, 1758 to 63. In Europe, there was this 7 years war that was taking place during that time, that is 1756 to 1763. In 1757, Chandranagar in Bengal, it was seized by Robert Clive. Then in 1758, Count de Lally, the French governor at Pondicherry, he attacked Fort St. David, that is of British settlement. So what happened is in 1760, 22nd January, the Battle of Vandivage took place, and in this the French finally was defeated by the English. This is also the end of the 7 years war, that is in 1763. They signed a treaty called Treaty of Paris, and the French possessions in India were made as a protectorate states, and no fortification was allowed. The French were confined to very few areas by then, but they lost all territories and all the power they had. Thereby, now we can say that English overthrew the different European powers, that is Dutch, Portuguese and French. So let's talk about the reasons why the French was defeated, because during that time French was really powerful territory, European power during that time. But how did they lose? What was their mistake? So the French East India Company, it was a state undertaking basically, and the directors were appointed by the crown. So due to that, there was a lot of lethargy, there were a lot of bureaucratic control over the company, and so it was not so efficient. And then the English East India Company, whereas on the other hand it was a private entity, so it was opening up of different fronts by the French India. Also, if we're gonna take a overlook, the French was only confined to the Pondicherry or some parts of India, whereas English East India Company, they had their bases in very powerful places like Bombay, Madras, Calcutta. That was another reason. Also, English had a very strong navy. So these were some of the reasons how the French was defeated. In this way, the English overthrew the other European powers that existed during that time. In the next session, we're gonna talk about how British overthrew the Indian princely states and what are the different wars, different treaties that they signed, and how they took over the Indian possessions and how they finally established power in India. That's all for today. Thank you. Have a nice day. And please like, share and subscribe. Thank you.